Good morning, everybody. My name is Erin. For those of you who are not familiar with me, we are going to start in a seated position, cross-legged if you can. I have a blanket here. If you do choose to sit up on something, a blanket or a blanket, you could sit up on a blanket or towel. Just sit with your sits bones on the towel and let your legs, your thighs be off, right? And for me, I have my right shin crossed in front of my left. You can sit the other way if that's more comfortable for you. And just be here for a moment. You know, I'm a fidgeter. I like to kind of fidget before I find stillness. So maybe take your hands to your thighs, massage your shins, your kneecaps, press down on your thighs, roll your head and neck, move your shoulders, and then take a moment to come to stillness. So move a little bit, whatever might make you feel good, and then come to stillness. And let your wrists hang over your thighs, your knees. Let the palms turn up or down. That's up to you. Take a deep, full breath in and an open mouth exhale. Let it all out. And then close your eyes. Taking another breath in, lengthen your spine, reaching up through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, start to soften the shoulders away from the ears. And with our class, the start of our class, I usually try to talk about something that we can use to follow along with our practice. And today it's sort of a discussion about your head and your heart. And oftentimes your head and your heart, they just do not communicate well. Your head is always thinking about the future, what is yet to come, maybe even some anxiety. And the heart often thinks about the past, you know, lamenting about the past. And the two things don't always, get along. And where can you find a common ground where you're not thinking ahead into the future or dreaming about the past and what could have been? You know, where can you find that common area? And in yoga, we teach that that's found, the present moment is found in your breath, in breathing, in noticing the inhales and the exhales. And once you notice them, even saying to yourself, I am breathing in and I am breathing out, allows your body to be present. It releases those chains of the future and the past, and it allows you to be present. So take your hands to your rib cage and let your fingers roll in front of the rib cage. Your thumbs maybe hug around behind. Take a deep, full breath in and notice the expansion of the rib cage. Maybe even breathe in a little bit more. Feel the rib cage expand, the lungs taking in air. As you exhale, maybe gently feel the depression of the ribs. Breathing in again fully. Noticing the breath, exhaling fully. Trying now to notice breathing in and out through the nose. Just notice the lungs, the ribs. Maybe even say to yourself, I am breathing in and I am breathing out. I am breathing in and I am breathing out. One more, I am breathing in and I am breathing out. And bring your hands to heart center and take your thumbs right up to your chest. Bow your head slightly towards your heart. Set an intention for your practice today. Maybe today you might be thinking how you can be more present. How can you be in the present moment? And during your day, if you find you're rushing to think ahead or you're pausing and thinking back from the past, take a moment and just be with your breath. Even if it's just one deep breath in and one deep breath out. It's very calming. And once you have your intention, just bring your arms up, straight up to the sky, and then let the arms float down. Just release that out. Your right fingertips stay on the mat. Left arm up and over the ear. Lean into the right. Let the left sits bone ground to the blanket. Maybe even turn and look under your left armpit. And then slowly come back to center. Let your left fingers find the mat. Take your right arm up and over, and the right palm is turning towards the mat. And turn, maybe look under the right armpit. Your right sits bone stays on the blanket or the mat. And come back into center. Take your hands to the thighs and just fold over your thighs gently. Keep pressing the hands into the thighs. And then slowly make your way back up. Take your legs out in front. Just shake out your legs, bending the knees. Let them release up and down. And slowly cross the opposite leg in front. Whatever leg you didn't have in front, let that leg cross in front. And we'll side bend again. So this time let's start with the left fingers on the mat and the right arm up and over the ear. Look under the right armpit, ground down on the right sits bone. Come back into center, right fingers down, left arm over. Look under the left armpit, feel long in the left side body. Maybe even think to yourself, I am breathing in through the left rib cage and I am breathing out through the right. Come back to center, bring your hands to your thighs and just melt forward again any amount. I know it may feel awkward because it's the awkward leg in front, but nice to be even on both sides. And slowly make your way up. We're going to come to lie on your back. So first just extend the legs out again, let them shake out. And then when you're ready to remove whatever you're sitting on, just take that out from whatever you're sitting on, place it off to the side if you think you might need it later, and make your way down onto your back. And I had mentioned earlier that if you have a block handy, only if you have it handy, have it down by the back of your mat. You might need that a little bit later. So roll your way back down, make your way down onto your back, and let your knees be bent. Let the soles of the feet come to the floor. Let your feet walk close to your hips, so let the heels walk in. And then one knee at a time, bring the knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a hug, pull the knees in. Maybe even lift the shoulders up off of the mat and draw the nose in towards the knees. Feeling a little bit of balance, engaging your core. Lowering the shoulders down onto the mat, and then take one hand onto each kneecap and circle the knees open and closed. Circle the knees open out to the sides and then squeeze the legs closed. Making big circles with the legs. Making sure that you go in both directions. Big circles. Help the legs open out and then help the legs squeeze closed. And then let the legs come together. Feel the inner thighs squeezing in. And let the knees just rock forward and back. So your body is staying on the mat. It's just your legs that are moving. Just a little movement forward and back. And then release the feet to the mat. Let your knees stay bent. Let your heels walk in close to your hips. And take your right arm up and over the head, right back towards the back of the mat. Reach the right arm long. And then take the right arm back down the side of your body. Let the left arm come up and over, reaching towards the back of the mat. And then let the left arm float back down towards the side of the body. So one more time, alternating arms. Right arm reaches, right arm releases. Left arm reaches, and then left arm releases. Now putting both arms together, let's take both arms up overhead, reach the arms long towards the back of the mat, breath in. As you exhale, lower the arms down towards the sides of the body. So 2 more times, inhale, lift the arms up, reach the arms long. As you exhale, arms float down towards the sides of the body. We have 1 more. Inhale, reach the arms, get a little longer in your spine, reach a little longer, open the fingers a little wider, and then lower the hands down towards the sides of the body. Now here, if you have a block, grab a block and place the block between the inner thighs. Now, if you don't have a block, that's okay. What I want you to do if you don't have a block is imagine that there's a block there and you're squeezing that block with your thighs, okay? So if you have the block, Squeeze the block with your thighs. It's right in between the thighs, not between the knees, but between the thighs. And let the arms stay down the lower part of your rib cage. Let the arms stay down the side of the body. Squeeze that block with your legs, and then start to lift the hips as you inhale. Keep squeezing the block. If you don't, imagine the block is there and you're pulling those inner thighs towards one another, and then lower the hips down. Take another breath in, rooting down through the feet. Let the hips rise up. Big breath, feel the chest expand. As you exhale, lower the hips down. We have one more. Breathe in, lift the hips up. Chin stays away from the chest. Breathe into the rib cage, and then exhale, lower down. Now we're going to combine the two there. I want you to take your arms overhead as you lift the hips. So now as you inhale, lift the hips, lift the arms. Squeeze the block, big breath in, open the hands wide. As you exhale, lower the hips and lower the arms. 2 more times. Inhale, lift, reach. Exhale, lower, squeeze the block. Keep squeezing, inhale and lift. And exhale, slow, lower and release. Take the block out and just place the block off to the side. Let the arms come down the sides of the body, maybe even close the eyes. Place the feet on the floor nice and firmly. And then allow your right knee just to open to the right. Maybe it reaches the ground, maybe not. And then squeeze the right leg back up into center. Let your left knee open out to the side. And then squeeze the left leg back up into center. 2 more times each side. Right knee opens. Right leg squeezes closed. Left knee opens. And then left knee squeezes closed. 1 more time each side. Right knee, let it fall open. Use your inner thighs to squeeze the leg closed. And then the left leg opens. Just let it soften. And then using your inner thighs, squeeze it back into center. Now take your right knee and just bring the right knee into the chest. Rotate the ankle, point and flex the toe. And then release the right knee and pull the left knee into the chest. Rotate the ankle, point and flex the toe. I just heard every little joint in my ankle crack, but it feels good to get all of that out. Now release the left foot back down onto the mat. Bring the right knee in again. And lift the shoulders up off of the mat and draw the nose in towards the knees. Lowering the shoulders, lower the right foot. Switching sides, left knee in. Lift the shoulders, draw the nose in towards the left knee. And release. Now bringing the right knee back in, we're going to keep moving through that, breathing in, exhaling, releasing down. Inhale, let's bring the knee in. Exhale, release. Keep alternating, bringing your one knee in, lifting the shoulders, and then releasing the foot to the mat, releasing the shoulders. Just keep alternating. Couple more. Engaging your core, just warming it up. 1 more each side. And then release the feet to the floor. Let the arms come down the sides of the body. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Keep the knees bent and just let the legs windshield wipe from side to side. The legs just move from side to side. It's mini twists. Take your arms overhead. Grab opposite elbows if that feels good for you. Pausing, maybe let the legs float to the right. Staying there. Take the gaze to the left. Come back in through center, let the legs fall to the left, take the gaze to the right. 1 more time each side through center. Take your breath in as you exhale, knees float to the right, gaze to the left. Maybe you switch opposite arms overhead. Breathing in, bring the legs back through center. As you exhale, let the legs fall to the left, take the gaze to the right. Slowly bringing your legs back into center. Your right knee comes back into the chest and extend your left leg long. Now feel the length of the left leg. Draw the right knee in. And maybe just rock the right leg from side to side. So just mini twists and openings with the hips. Rock that leg open, rock the leg closed. You can make it as small or as big as you like. And then we're going to release the right foot to the ground, bring the left knee in. Extend your right leg long, feel the stretch of the right leg. Just feel that right leg stretch after being bent. And now take your time here with the left leg, open the left knee a little bit out and close. A little open and a little closed. Just a little bit open and a little bit closed. And then release the left foot to the ground and the right knee now comes in. We're going to extend your left leg long, and here we're going to alternate through some little mini bicycle crunches. So you can bring your right knee to the chest and then switch left knee to the chest. If you want a little bit more, then lift the shoulders up off of the mat. If you want less, then take the shoulders back down, or moving back through what we did earlier with your knees bent. So that's up to you. But bicycle out the legs, twisting a little from side to side, hugging the knee in and releasing it. Maybe if you want more, you can reach your arms towards the front of your mat and just let the legs do the work themselves without hugging them in. Take your time, breathing in, bring one leg in, exhaling, releasing. Just warm up the core. We have 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the knees into your chest. Rock side to side, side to side. And then taking the arms straight towards the ceiling and extend the legs up towards the ceiling. Now reaching up, we're going to try and alternate lowering an opposite arm and opposite leg. So my right arm is going to come straight over my head, and then I start to lower my left leg. Then slowly squeezing, bringing everything back up into center. Left arm reaches up over your head, right leg long towards the front of your mat. Keep pulling your belly button in towards the spine. Squeeze everything back up into neutral. If this is too much, bend your knees. So you can do this also with the knees bent. Right arm reaches, and in that case, maybe the left foot touches the mat, and then squeeze it back up. Left arm reaches and right leg touches. So either with legs bent or legs straight, keep alternating arm and leg, opposite arm, opposite leg. Reach and find length. Squeeze to pull to center. Make sure your lower back is on the mat and you're breathing. We have 2 more on each side, reaching and finding length, squeezing back in. 1 more each side, nice and long. And once you've done all of your reaching, these are called bird dogs on your back, bring the knees into the chest. Take your arms either out to the sides in a T or bend the elbows in cactus arms and take a breath in. As you exhale, let the knees float to the right. Take your gaze to the left. Your right hand can come onto your left thigh if you want to help guide you into this twist a little deeper. Keep trying to get your left shoulder onto the mat. With a breath in, let your knees come back through center. As you exhale, let the knees float to the left. Take your gaze to the right. Trying to scoot out your left shoulder so the right shoulder can come onto the mat a little bit better. If you want to take the left hand to the right thigh and help guide your twist a little deeper, you can do that. Slowly releasing, bringing everything back in the center, taking your hands to your thighs and draw the legs in and pull the legs just a little open. So a little modified happy baby. If you want to take full happy baby, that's up to you. You could reach for the feet, take the soles of the feet to the sky, or just continue to hug the legs in through, hooking the back thighs. Flex and point the toes. Releasing, bringing the knees in. We're going to be making our way to all fours, so you can roll over to one side if you want and press your way up. You can rock and roll on your spine. Whatever works for you today, up to you. Make your way to all fours. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. So if you feel you have some tender knees here, find your blanket and place it under your knees. If wrists are a problem, elevate your hands. Take the blocks and place the blocks under your hands. You can also use the chair if that's something that will help to make your practice a little bit better. In either case, we're going to move through some cat and cows. I want you to think about your breath. As you inhale, we're going to drop the belly. And as you exhale, press, lift, and round. With a breath in, drop your belly, take your gaze up. As you exhale, press, lift, and round. One more, drop your belly, gaze is up. And exhale, press, lift, and round. Now, as you come to a neutral spine, I want you to notice your feet. And as you inhale, drop your belly, curl your toes under, feel the stretch of the undersides of the feet. As you exhale, untuck the toes, press into the tops of your feet and round. Feel your core engage as you press into the tops of the feet. Inhale, curl the toes. Exhale, press, lift, and round. Finding a neutral spine. Shifting the hips from side to side. And then start to rock back and rock forward. Rock back, draw the hips back towards the heels and rock forward. Gently rock back and gently rock forward. With the next time you rock back, come into a child's pose, let the arms reach long. Let your forehead come to the mat if you can. If you want to turn the palms up or rotate the wrists any amount you can. With your next inhale, roll back onto all fours. Take your gaze to the right. Look over the right shoulder. Maybe let your right hip come to the right a little bit more. Maybe you look a little bit more to the right hip. As you inhale, come to center, look left towards the left hip. Maybe the left hip tries to make its way to see see your gaze as well. Come back to center, shifting, look right hip pops out. Shifting, look left. And come back to center. Let's take your left leg straight back and just rock forward and back, forward and back. Stretch out the back of the left leg. And from here, we're going to lift the left leg up off of the mat. Keep the left toes turned down so that the hips are nice and even. Reach your right arm long. So just like we did on our backs, reaching, finding length, nice long spine. Take your breath here, inhale. As you exhale, can you bring the right elbow to meet the left knee? And it'll help to push into the top of your right foot and grip the mat with your left hand. Reach and lengthen, find that length. Maybe touch the left toe to the ground for some balance. And then squeeze and pull it all in. Find your length, reach and lengthen. And exhale, pull it all in. With your next exhale, reach and find length. Maybe the left toe taps down or let it hover. Can you take your right arm just out to the right side of your mat, reaching so that the right arm is sort of in a T shape. Bring the right arm back up into central, release the right hand and the left knee to the mat. Shift your hips a little from side to side, and we're gonna switch sides. Right leg draws back, and just rock forward and back, forward and back. You can be also with the hands on your chair doing the same thing, or hands on the blocks. Lift the right leg up off the mat and just notice if your right toes have turned out. Turn the right toes down. Keep your belly button pulling in, nice neutral spine. And when you're ready, reach the left arm long. Push into the top of your left foot and grip the mat with your fingers on the right hand. Once you've found your balance, then pull the left elbow in to touch the right knee. Take a breath in, reach and find your length. As you exhale, squeeze and pull it all in. One more, reach and find length. Maybe the right toes touch the ground for balance. And then pull it all in. Now as you inhale, reach, find your length. Just a little bit more challenge on your balance. Can you take the left arm out to the left side of your mat? Try to keep your gaze just out in front of your fingers on the right hand. Send everything back into neutral. Release the left hand and the right knee to the mat. One cat and cow here just to wipe it all away. And then slowly make your way onto your stomach, releasing your belly down onto the mat. Let your forehead come to the mat. Lift your right leg, walk it long behind you. Reach your left leg and really lengthen, walk the legs back. Press into the tops of your feet to let the kneecaps lift. Engage your legs. Now with your hands, walk your hands down a little bit towards your lower rib cage. Find a way to feel that the left and right elbows and wrists are in line. Grip the mat with your hands. Now, like a snake, pull yourself sort of forward and through, and then lift the chest up for cobra pose. Your tricep muscles should be turning on. Let the shoulders come away from the ear. Tuck your chin towards your chest just slightly, and feel like you're pulling yourself forward, and at the same time, reaching the legs back. Lower the chest down onto the mat, and take your hands and cup one hand on top of the other and rest your forehead on top of your palms or the backs of your palms. Lift your left leg just lightly off of the mat, engage your glute muscles, and then release the left leg. Lifting the right leg, engaging and feeling your glute muscles engage, and then release. Now take your arms straight out in front, nice and long towards the front of your mat, and your forehead can come to the mat. Start to lift your right arm off of the mat and lift your left leg. Hold it there, engaging your back muscles and your glute muscles, lowering and releasing. With a breath in, left arm lifts, right leg lifts. Squeeze the glute muscles, lift the left arm, releasing. Two more times. Lift your right arm and left leg. Hold it there. Reach a little longer with the right arm. Reach a little farther with the left leg. Slowly lower. Left arm up. Right leg lifts. Releasing down. Right arm, last time. Right arm, left leg. Releasing down. Left arm, right leg. Slowly release. Bring the hands to the sides of your body. Press the hands into your mat. Come back into a child's pose. Nice and slow, nice and slow. Maybe rock side to side. And now we're coming into our first downward facing dog. So downward dog for you could be here with your hands on a chair, letting your heart melt towards your thighs and your hips are high. You can also have your downward dog be on blocks, just to give you a little bit of elevation, or you can have your hands on the mat. Either way, I want you to start pedaling out your feet, lifting and alternating the heels, bending the knees, shaking your head yes and no. And then everyone come up on the balls of your feet, lifting the heels high, bend your knees, let the chest come towards your thighs. Tip your tailbone up a little bit towards the sky like you do in a cat pose. Straighten the legs, lower the heels. Lifting in your armpits and spin your inner elbows forward to hug the triceps underneath you.
Grip the mat with your hands. Take a breath here, deep breath in through the nose, full exhale out the mouth. As you inhale, look forward and roll into a plank pose. So here you might adjust your hands and feet a little bit. Take a breath here, and as you exhale, hips up and back for downward dog. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, roll forward, maybe even like a wave. You roll your body forward and let the head be the last thing to come forward. And then you can tuck your chin, lift the hips, and roll back to downward dog. Roll the body forward, the head becomes the last thing, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath here, inhale, and full exhale. Let your right leg come up, lift it up as you inhale. Bending into the knee, open your hip, look under the left armpit and find the foot there. And then as you inhale, let the right leg come back to center. Release your right foot to the mat. Left leg comes up high, big breath in. Bend the knee, open the hip. Right heel towards the ground. Look under the right armpit to find the left foot there. And then as you inhale, we'll come back to center. Release the left foot to meet the right. Deep breath in, full breath out. Start to tippy toe or heel toe your way towards the front of the mat. You can bend the knees. And when you get to the front of the mat, bring your hands onto your shins, gently lifting the spine. Find a flat back. Breath in. And as you exhale, fold in. 2 more times. Inhale, hands to the shins. Lengthen. You can also do hands to the blocks or hands to the chair. Lengthen and fold in. 1 more time, inhale, lift and lengthen, just like we did in our cobra pose, right? Heart comes forward. And as you exhale, fold back down. Bend into the knees, rooting down through the feet. Bring your hands to the hips. With a flat back, start to rise up. Straighten the legs, reach your arms up. Inhale. As you exhale, hands to the heart, mountain pose. Take a breath here in your mountain pose. Palms are forward, hips are in neutral. Shoulders away from the ears. Deep breath in, full breath out. Take your arms up overhead, breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to let the right arm come behind you and the left arm come forward. Twist looking right. Sweep the arms back to center, gaze comes forward. As you exhale, left arm back, right arm forward. Twist to the left. 2 more times, come back up into center, arms overhead, inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. Arms reach in opposite directions. Reach the arms up, inhale. Exhale, twist left. We have 1 more each side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist right. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist left. Slowly bring the arms up, breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to dive down to the mat, fold in. Now here we're going to step into a lunge. So if you think that you might need a blanket, have that blanket handy. We're going to step your left foot back and lower the left knee to the mat. So if you need some other protection for the knee, take that protection. Now making sure here your right ankle and knee are in line. You don't want to have the foot be too behind the knee. Climb your way to the top of your right thigh. Clasp your hands there, press into the thigh, lift your chest, but let the legs sink down. So my legs are rooting down, my upper body pulls up, and then reach the arms up to the sky, nice and tall. Reach up, inhale, and exhale. Take your left hand to the right thigh. And like we did when we were standing, let's circle the right arm behind you for a twist. So my left hand is to the right knee, and I'm pulling with my left hand, pressing with my right leg, and twisting, looking over the right shoulder. Circle that right arm back up into center, releasing the right hands to the ground or to blocks. Curl your back toe and lift the back knee off of the mat. We're going to pivot and plant your left foot on the mat and prepare for warrior 1. So looking down at the mat, my left toes are turning in to about 10 o'clock. Root down on the feet, lifting the chest, arms down by the sides of the body.
Bend your right knee. Take the hands to your hips. Straighten the right leg. Guide your right hip back and left hip slightly forward. Bend back into the right knee. Keep the hips square to the front of your mat. Take your arms up overhead or out in front if that's what you can do today. Press into the outer left foot to lift in the arch of your left foot. Find a breath, inhale. Find a deep exhale. Release the hands down into the hips. We're going to bring your left foot in just a little, but keep that position of the foot where it's 10 o'clock with the toes. Straighten your front leg, draw the right hip back, and slowly start to fold towards the right leg. Here's where blocks might be helpful. Hands can come to the blocks. Right hip draws back, and you fold over your right leg. Take a breath and find your leg, and then exhale, fold. With your next inhale, start to look up, and you can step your left foot forward to meet the right. Folding in, root down on the feet. Maybe this time sweep the arms, lift the chest, reach up, inhale. As you exhale, dive back down towards the mat, nice and slow. We're going to do the other side. So this time, the right foot steps back. You're going to lower the right knee to the mat or to a blanket if that's what you need. Take your hands to the top of the left thigh. Make sure that your left knee and ankle are in line with one another. Clasp your hands there the awkward way, rooting down through the lower part of the body. Let the lower part of the body sink down, but let the upper part of the body start to lift up. Press into the top of the left thigh, lift your chest. Reach your arms up when you're ready. Maybe they only come out in front. Take a breath. This pose is called Anjaneyasana. Now take your right hand to the left thigh. We're going to find your twist. So press the left leg into the right hand and circle the left arm behind you. Look over the left shoulder. You can also have the left hand come to your hip if that's a little bit more accessible. Now press into the top of your right foot. Make sure that you're finding balance. Circle the left arm up and over. Release the left hand back to the mat, right hand down too. Maybe if you need some blocks, you can have your blocks to help you lift your right knee up. And warrior one is our next pose. So turn and let's pivot and plant your right foot on the mat to about 2 o'clock. And then lift your chest, hands to the hips, straighten your left leg. Guide your left hip back, right hip forward. Hips are square to the front of the mat. You're going to bend back into the left knee, root down nice and strong through the right leg, pushing into the outer part of your right foot to lift in the arch. From here, take the arms up, lifting, maybe arms just out in front. Arms can come overhead. Pinky fingers spin inward. Take a deep breath here, inhale. Full exhale, sink a little deeper, maybe bend the knee a little bit more. Let's bring the hands to the hips and straighten the left leg. Scoot your right foot in just a little bit, making a shorter stance with your feet. Hands to the hips. Again, guide that left hip back. Right hip comes a little bit more forward. Hips are square to the front of your mat. Hinge at the hips. Keep drawing the left hip back. Stop wherever you can. Blocks can help here if you need them. Fold in as best you can. Let your big toe on the left foot ground down onto the mat. Your heart comes towards the foot, right? So feel the heart pull its way towards the foot. Left hip still drawing back, stretching out this whole back hamstring. Inhale, find your length. Exhale, fold in. As you inhale, lift up, bend into the left knee, step forward with the right foot, fold in, moving the blocks up to the sides. Inhale, bring the arms up, reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Okay. From here, we're going to turn to the left and we're going to step wide. So this is called Prasarita, right? Your toes are going to be turning in, your heels are going to press out. Hands come onto the hips, take a breath in, lift the chest, maybe the elbows draw back. As you exhale, hinge forward, folding into a standing straddle.
Fold in, let your head go. Maybe it feels nice to bend your left knee and bend your right knee, alternating side to side. Come back into center, legs as straight if you can. Blocks would be good here too. Fold in, crown of the head towards the mat. Shift the weight to the balls of the feet. Bringing your hands onto your hips, slight bend in the knees, lift the chest and come on back up. Turn your right toes out towards the front of the mat. Now, Warrior Two is our next pose. These are called Virabhadrasana 2. We're going to bend your right, first a second, look down and see if you have your right heel in line with your left arch. Now you need to turn your left toes in slightly and press into the outside of the left heel. Bend your right knee deeply and take the right hand to the right inner thigh and press that knee open. Make sure it's not buckling in. From here, lift the arms shoulder height. Squeeze the muscles in towards the bones. Look over the right fingers. Take a deep, full breath here. Exhale, maybe sitting a little deeper. Now, as you inhale, straighten the right leg, reach the arms overhead. As you exhale, bend back in, Warrior Two. 2 more times. Inhale, straighten, lift, and reach. As you exhale, bend back in, Warrior Two. 1 more. Inhale, straighten, lift, and reach. Palms can touch, maybe. Exhale, Warrior Two. Now here, where right palm flips up, the left arm is going to come behind the back, and we'll come to Peaceful Warrior. Inhale, right arm reaches. Left arm behind if you can. It can also be to the left thigh. And then as you exhale, bring your right forearm to your left thigh and take your left arm and bring it up over the ear, nice and long. One straight long line from the outer heel to the fingertips. Feel long in your left side body. Nice. Slowly come on back up, find your Warrior Two. Straighten your right leg and parallel your feet. Turn your left toes out this time. We're going to come into Warrior Two on the other side. So bend your left knee, left hand to the left inner thigh, press that knee open. Make sure that you have heel to arch alignment here, and your right toes turn in just slightly, pressing strong into the outer right heel. Arms are out to the side, shoulder height, gaze over the left fingers. Bend in a little deeper. Take a breath here, inhale, and exhale. With your next inhale, straighten the left leg, reach the arms overhead. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend back in, maybe get a little lower. Beautiful, nice. Inhale, reach. You guys look great. Exhale, bend back in. Nice. Bring it up, inhale. Big exhale, Warrior Two. Flip your left palm. Take the right arm behind the back. Let's let the left arm come up. Big breath in, Peaceful Warrior. With an exhale, left forearm to thigh. With an inhale, right arm up and over the ear, right palm turns down. Long line from the right fingers to the right heel. Really nice. Come back up, find your Warrior Two. Straighten the left leg, parallel the feet. We're going to either step or turn towards the front of the mat to step forward and let your feet meet. Take your arms up again, big breath in. Exhale, dive down. Inhale, take a breath, find your length. As you exhale, we're going to bend the knees, planting your palms, stepping back, find a plank pose. Lowering onto your knees and coming down onto your stomach. Reach the arms long like we did before, coming into those Supermans or alternating arms. Lift the right arm, lift the left leg. Slowly lower, release. Left arm, right leg. Slow release. 2 more times, right arm, left leg. And release. Left arm, right leg. And release. Last time, right arm, left leg. Left arm, right leg. Releasing, bringing the hands to the mat, pressing back into a child's pose, nice and slow, countering, roll the wrists if you need it. Coming back into your downward facing dog when you're ready. Take a breath here, inhale. Deep, full breath out, exhale. Walk your way towards the front of the mat, making your way forward. Hands to the shins, find your length. Fold your way in. Root down on the feet, bend the knees, lift the chest, bring the arms up, reach up, inhale, look up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Turning again to the left. We're gonna step wide, but first grab your blocks. We're gonna have one block at the front of the mat and one block towards the back of the mat. If you don't have the blocks, it's totally okay. You'll be totally fine. We're gonna step wide again into that Prasarita pose. Legs are wide. And from here, we're gonna come into triangle on both sides. So starting on the right side, we're gonna turn the right toes out. And bring your arms out to the sides, just like we did like in our Warrior Two, with those strong arms at shoulder height. And just practice here first, hinging at the hips and reaching towards the front of the mat. So draw the hips back and reach the right arm forward. And then use your side body, your core strength to pull you back up to neutral. And then hinge at the hips, reaching towards the front of the mat, and then pull your way back in. Good, hinge, reach, 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 and pull back in. So now we're gonna come into your triangle pose. So here we're gonna reach, hinge, draw the hips back, and then the right hand can float to the right shin, or maybe you grab a block here. Left arm stacks on top of the right arm and find your triangle pose. Your right big toe grounds down onto the mat. Your right inner thigh starts to spin towards the sky. So hug the right hip in and underneath. Look up towards the left thumb if you can. Feel some length down the left side of the body. Now looking towards the ground, rooting down on the feet. Use your core to come back up. Parallel your feet. And we'll do the other side, left toes out. Practicing just hinging and reaching, right? So take a breath in and start to hinge as you exhale. Inhale, come on back up. Exhale, arms stay parallel to the mat. Hinge, hinge, hinge. Use your core to come back up. One more. Hinging towards the back of the mat this time. And then pull your way back up. Coming into your triangle pose now. So let's take a breath. Start to hinge towards the back of the mat. And then tip over. And the left hand either towards the left shin. Maybe you find a block. Maybe you're even higher on the thigh. Try and stack the shoulders. Find a little bit of length down the right side of the body. Left big toe grounds down on the mat, and your left inner thigh spins up towards the sky. Let the left inner thigh come up. And then we're gonna root down on the feet. Use your core to come back up to your standing pose. Parallel your feet and turn the right toes out and come to the front of your mat. Fold your way in. Inhale, find your length. Exhale and fold. Rooting down on the feet, bring the arms up, reach up, inhale, look up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Okay, we're gonna come to a standing balance pose. We're gonna come to tree pose. If you need something to hold on to, there are different levels of tree that we can do. You can have something to hold on to, a chair, a wall, anything if you need it. Okay, so we're gonna root down through our left leg and we're gonna come to the ball of your right foot. And your hands could be at heart center, your hands could be at the hips, whatever is most comfortable for you. So from here, we're gonna just open the right knee out to the side and connect the right heel towards the left inner calf or shin. Now maybe that's enough and you can be fine here. You can also take the foot to the calf and press into the calf. Now there's always an action and reaction, so press in. Remembering like when we squeeze that block, we'll hear you're pressing the foot into the shin just as much as the shin is pressing back. From here, if you want to go a little farther, you can bring the foot all the way up into the inner thigh. That's up to you. Anywhere besides the knee. Hands can come to heart center. Find a focal point. Pushing the foot into the leg and the leg into the foot with the same resistance. Maybe you reach the arms, growing long. Big breath in. Big breath out. Slowly the hands come to center. The right knee comes to the midline.
And you release the right leg to the ground. Beautiful. Right leg grounds. Okay, we're going to come to the ball of your left foot and bend your left knee. Now take that left knee open and then connect the left heel to the right inner leg. Now you can stay here as your tree pose, or like I said before, you can start to lift the leg to the shin or the calf. Pressing the leg into the foot into the leg, same resistance, action and reaction. And a little bit more will be to bring it a little higher. Inner thigh, anywhere but the knee. Pressing with the same resistance, both the foot and the thigh. When you're ready, reaching the arms if that's available to you. Open the fingers wide, lengthen the spine long, root down through the right leg. Beautiful. Bring the hands back to the heart. Bring the left knee to the midline. Release the left foot to the ground. Just shake out the legs and the arms. All right. We're going to make our way down onto our backs again. So come down on your way. Move the blocks off to the sides. If that's, somewhere you can keep them handy would be helpful, but just so that they're not on the mat while you come down. Make your way down your way. And we're going to slowly take the legs out in front. Find your sits bones. Arms lift and reach overhead. Exhale, take a forward fold. And your heart pulls forward as your sits bones reach back. You can even reach for the pinky toes and pull those pinky toes back. And slowly start to come to sit. And we're going to bend the knees, bring the knees out to the sides and let the soles of the feet touch. So you can have your feet be more forward, or you can have your feet come a little bit more closer towards your hips, up to you. But the closer the hips come toward, heels come towards your hips, the more tendency we have to round. So bringing the hands onto the ankles, we're going to have to start to lift the chest, pulling the hips forward. Press the knees open, breath in, and exhale, fold in, elbows into the inner thighs. Press the knees open any amount. Slowly rise up, bring the knees in towards the center, extend the legs long. And one more little core just to get us down onto the mat. If you have a block, you could take the block and reach that block out and forward out in front of you. It's just a little extra to, focus on thinking like cat pose, right? When we were on our hands and knees. Tuck your chin and round. Feel your core engage as you tuck your chin and slowly roll your way down on the mat. Let the heels drag on the mat, let the legs press into the mat, and slowly roll your way down. When you get there, release softly, start to bend the knees. Now we did some bridge pose earlier, so now we're going to use the block to come into a restorative bridge. If you don't have it, just come into a regular bridge or just be here with the knees bent. If you have a block, place it right underneath your hips. If you don't, just come into a nice low bridge pose. Maybe lift the hips slightly off the mat. Take a breath here, inhale and exhale. Another couple breaths, breathe in and breathe out. Close your eyes. Just be present here for another moment or two. Now, if you have a block, keep that block underneath the hips. If you don't, and you are lifting your hips, lower your hips down onto the mat. But if you have a block, you can keep your hips on the block. And take the right knee in towards the chest, maybe then take the left knee in towards the chest, and lift the legs up to the sky. So just get a little inversion before we finish our class. Staring up at the feet, either you're flat on the mat or you're a little elevated with a block under the hips. Another breath or two. Nice to get the feet up. They're always walking, we're always on the ground, right? They're always walking, so it's nice to get the legs up. We're slowly bending both knees, releasing the feet to the ground, lift the hips up, take the block out from under you if you had one there. Very slowly bringing the knees into your chest. One more supine twist, just taking their knees to the right, gaze to the left. One more time. Coming back to center as you inhale, and as you exhale, twist the other way. Knees come into center. Happy baby when you're ready. Soles of the feet to the sky. Knees into the armpits. You're either rocking side to side, or you're pulling the feet down with the hands and pressing the feet into the hands to find your lower back on the mat. Gently knees into the chest, feet to the floor, legs extend long. Take your legs as wide as your mat. Take the arms out to the sides. Take up space. Take a deep, full breath in through the nose. Take a deep, full exhale out the mouth. With your next breath in, feel the chest rise. With your next exhale, feel the body melt into your mat and soften. Breathing in and out through the nose. Close your eyes. And take a moment for Shavasana pose, final resting pose, a chance for us to soak in all the benefits from our practice. Take a deep breath in and sigh it out. And just be here on your mat. Just listen to the sound of my voice. Just be aware. My Head and Heart Divorced by John Rodell. My head and heart divorced a decade ago over who was to blame about how big of a mess I had become. Eventually, they couldn't be in the same room with each other. Now my head and heart share custody of me. I stay with my head during the week, and my heart gets me on weekends. They never speak to one another. Instead, they give me the same note to pass to each other every week. And their notes always say the same thing. It's all your fault. There's been a lot of yelling and crying. So lately, I've been spending a lot of time with my gut. My gut serves as my unofficial therapist. My gut asks me if I was having a hard time being caught between my head and my heart. I nodded. I said, I didn't know if I could live with either one of them anymore. My heart is always sad about something that happened yesterday, while my head is always worried about something that may happen tomorrow. My gut smiled and said, in that case, you should go and stay with your lungs for a while. Your lungs are the perfect place for you. There is no yesterday in your lungs. There is no tomorrow there either. There is only now. There is only inhale. There is only exhale. There is only this moment. There is only this breath. And in that breath, you can rest while your head and your heart work out the relationship. This morning, while my brain was busy reading something about tea leaves and my heart was staring at old photographs, I packed a little bag and walked to the door of my lungs. Before I could even knock, she opened the door with a smile. And as a gust of air embraced me, she said, "What took you so long?" Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Rock your head from side to side, making little movements with your body. Big full body stretch, arms overhead. Inhale. As you exhale, let the knees come into your chest, one at a time, rolling to one side of your body, pausing in a fetal position. Take another breath in, and as you exhale, slowly make your way to a comfortable seated pose, facing the front of your mat. Place the hands on your thighs, gently pressing down on your thighs. Walk the hands to your kneecaps. As you inhale, lift the heart. As you exhale, bend the elbows, hands to heart center, thumbs to your chest. Another deep breath in. Another full breath out. Joining our voices in the sound of Om. Inhale. Om. Bowing your head to heart with so much gratitude. Thumbs to the third eye. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Very beautiful practice today.